Hi and welcome to my Python YouTube channel. It's awesome to have you here. If you like this video, a thumbs up would be great. And make sure to subscribe for future videos. I also have a blog at prosperocoder.com with lots of cool stuff, so feel free to check it out. Today we'll be talking about variable scopes in nested functions. We'll also be talking about non-local variables. You can also watch my video on scopes and my video on the non-local statement in Python if you want to. How do variables behave in nested functions? Let's find out. Here's our example. Here we have our nested function. Anyway, the variable value is defined in three places. In global scope, here value equals 2. In the enclosing function, value reader, so the outer function, here value equals 5. And in the nested function, nested reader, value equals 8. Now, if we run this program, we'll get some messages. First, this one, in global scope, before value reader x equals, and here we'll get the value of this variable in global scope. Then, the value reader function will be called, and we'll get this message from this value reader function. In value reader, before nested reader, x equals, and so on. Then, we'll call the nested reader function. So the next message will be in nested reader x equals and the value from the nested function. And then we'll get another message inside this value reader function in a value reader after nested reader. Finally, we'll get this one over here in global scope after value reader x equals and so on. And now let's run this code. And let's see. In global scope before value reader x equals 2, just like it was set to here. In a value reader before nested reader x equals 5. So this is this value over here. In nested reader x equals 8. So this value over here. Then in value reader after nested reader x still equals 5. And then in global scope after value reader x still equals 2. So it turns out that in each of the three scopes the local variable is used and has no effect on the other two. This is pretty straightforward. But what if we used global variables in nested functions? Let's modify our program by adding just one line in the nested function. So, global value. And now let's run it again. So now there's a difference over here. So the enclosing function value reader is still working on its local variable and does not affect the other two. So here we have this value 5 and here 5. The nested function, nested reader, however, is now working on the global variable and it changes it to 8. That's why after the function has executed, the global variable is changed to 8. But not the local one in the enclosing function. So, the global keyword in a function or in a nested function makes the function work on the global variable. The global scope is often referred to as module scope because the whole file where the script is written is a module. If the global keyword is used in a nested function, the global variable may be changed, but the variable in the enclosing function is not affected. But is there a way for the nested function to affect the variable in the enclosing function? Yes, there are the so-called non-local variables. If we want to use non-local variables, we use the non-local keyword. Two conditions must be met for non-local variables to work. 1. The non-local keyword must be used in the nested function. 2. the non-local variable must be defined in the enclosing function before the nested function is called. If any of the two conditions is not met, we'll get an error. Non-local variables can't affect global variables. Let's modify our previous example so that it uses a non-local variable. The only change we need to make is use the non-local keyword instead of global. Non-local, right. So, are the two conditions met? First, the non-local keyword is used in the nested function, okay? And second, the non-local variable is defined in the enclosing function over here before the nested function is called over here. So, the conditions are met. Everything should work fine. Let's see the output. So as you can see here, the value in the enclosing function before nested reader is called is 5. But after nested reader is called, it's 8, so it works. The nested function is now using the non-local variable, which means the one defined in the enclosing function. That's why the variable in the enclosing function changes after calling the nested function. The global variable is untouched. And now let's see what would happen if the second condition were not met. We'll comment out the definition of the non-local variable in the enclosing function. So, this is not defined. And now let's run it. As you can see, we have an error here. No binding for non-local value found. We would get the same error if the first condition were not met. So if the non-local keyword were used in the enclosing function instead of the nested one. Okay, that's it for this video. If you like it, a thumbs up would be great. Also, make sure to subscribe for future videos. If you want to leave a comment or ask a question, you're welcome to do so. Thanks for watching.